welcome to all students, particularly SC students. You are hearty welcome to Sikai Sansar YouTube channel that is originated by our Yuvraj Khandkasa. And previously we did a grammatical portion that was for 6 marks and reproduction part we did. And today we are going to do a guided writing part. There are 2 types of writing, free writing and guided writing in English SE questions. And among them, 2 are the guided writings items which are asked for 5 plus 5, 10 marks, and free writing 6 plus 8, altogether 14. So today among them we are going to do the first part of guided writing, story development. Particularly, we are directing to our SC students, even though this very writing item is fruitful for the students of grade 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and bachelor's students as well. Not only this writing portion is beneficial for the teachers who have been teaching in secondary level and basic level as well. So first of all, today I am going to discuss about some hints, some clues that students and teachers have to follow while developing a story. What happens in questions paper, for the guided writing, some hints or clues of the stories are provided there. On the basis of the hints and clues given in the present tense, then we teachers and students have to develop them into a readable story. So first of all, I would like to talk about some tips how to study, how to be careful, how to be prepared while writing that very readable story. Okay, let's talk. I also write on the board as well. Look here. Hints for developing story. Okay. As I told earlier, there are hints given in the question paper. That means the skeleton of story is provided in the question paper. So what to do first before writing, before starting to write that before developing that very story? So I am going to talk about some points. First of all, the students and teacher have to study the keys, study the hints, detail. Okay, study the given clues seriously. Okay, first of all, the hints, whatever hints are given there, we teachers or the students, the examinees should study so seriously. While studying those points, those hints, the students have to form a structure of a story. Okay, then we have to form a structure of a story. So there are given clues, and the clues indicate a skeleton that indicates a story, full story. So students have to form, while reading that very given clues, we have to form a story in our mind. That is the second thing. Thirdly, students should focus. They should focus the keywords given there. So to make the story, the question setter has given some points. There are some keywords, major words which represent the body of the story. So the key points, the parts mainly, the students have to, or teachers have to indicate, have to take seriously those words. So that's the thing. And another point, we have to do, that is, we can add some extra information there. Students can add some more information. Many teachers and students think that, oh, we can't add related information, but it's not the aim of the question. So teachers and students, we can add some related situations, related information that can make our story very interesting, very excited. So we can add some information which are related, which are useful to develop that very story. And another point is that there are only the skeletons, only some hints, some clues are given there. So while starting that very story, we have to add the background there. Okay, so we have to add background of the story. Okay, background of the story. And finally, two things are left again. Sometimes the question itself gives the heading, a topic, and at the end of the story, at the end of the skeleton, there is given moral. So while writing, while developing a story, teachers or students shouldn't forget to supply a topic, a heading, and the moral as well. So the last point that we have to be careful is that we have to supply the topic and moral. Moral means moral lesson. So these two things altogether I have written on the board as well. First of all, students have to read the given clues. So seriously, while reading, they have to form a structure of story in their mind, and then they have to focus, they have to underline the keywords, and after that we can also add some related information to make our story exciting. Then we have to add background of the story. Only the starting is given there. So without a background, the story becomes incomplete. So that we have to imagine, we have to add the background of the story. And finally, if the topic is not given there, we have to use topic, we have to supply topic, and at the end of the story, we have to supply the moral lesson as well. What moral lesson, what experience we can get after reading that very story, that is very important. So, dear students, I talked about these points, these clues that the students have to do so hurriedly in the examination hall before starting that very writing development of a story. Now, today, I have taken a story that is asked many times in SEE and other examinations in different levels. The story itself, I have taken the hints, I have taken the clues here, and the story is about three men. The three men, what happens? Sometimes they are going to another market or another village through a forest, and on the way they find a purse full of money. They want to divide it, and then among three they are very hungry, and one goes to buy food, two or the rest of them to make a plan. Oh, when he comes here, we have to murder him. And then again the person who goes to buy the food, he makes his own plan. Oh, why should I have to give this money to the two people? I add some poison, and then they will be killed, and then the money will be my own self. So two parties design differently, and finally all die, and then the purse remain left on the floor. That is the story that we have been asked. That is asked many times in previous history, that I am going to do today. So the hints is given only there. Three men find a purse. The story starts without any background. So dear students, I am going to write on the board as well, and I speak myself, so that you can get the point very easily. So let's write like this. We can write once upon a time, many years ago, once, one day. So starting phrases and words are there. Many words can be used there. So out of them, what word is useful, what word is easy for you, you can select that and you can start writing. So first of all, we can write this once. And mainly, another point what we have to remember in our mind is that while writing or while developing stories, we have to use past tenses. Mainly, the stories are written in past tenses, so I'm also going to write this very story in past tense by using simple past, past continuous, past perfect, okay, is the story needs. So here, let's start like this. Once three men were going to another village through a forest. Dear students, the question was asked only three men find a purse, but I have prepared a background. Look here. Once three men were going to another village through a forest. I have used here past continuous tense. Okay, so mainly developing study. Okay, while developing study, we have to use different past tenses. Okay, on the way. They found a purse full of money. Look, full of money. While they were going to another village, in another market through the forest, on the way they found a purse, and the purse was full of money. And the hint says, agree to divide. And what happened? When they found the purse together on the way, and then they discussed, what to do with this very money. And then they agreed to divide that very sum of money. Then they agreed to divide the money. Okay, when they found the purse, they opened it, and then they saw the huge sum of money, and then they agreed, what to do? Let's divide into three parts. They agreed. And then what happens? They had been walking for a long time, and then they were hungry as well, and they sat on the floor and then discussed, what to do? We are very hungry, so let's buy some food. And then out of them, one was sent to buy food. They were very hungry. Okay, they were very hungry. Then they decided to buy some food. Okay, they decided, why not to eat food? So we have to buy some food because we have found money, okay, and that is what they found. No labor is there. That is the big sum of money, and then they decided, let's have a good amount of food. Let's have a delicious food, and then they sent one of them to buy food. Okay, then they sent one of them to buy food. Look here, there were only three, and out of them one was sent to buy the food, and two remained there. And the two men again made a plan. When one man went away, the two men decided to, okay, the two men made a plan. Okay, the two men made a plan. What did they plan? Oh, when he comes from there, we have to murder them. Okay, they want to divide that very money only with two parts. Okay, only two men wanted to get that very sum of money, and then they made a plan. When the man comes there, they will kill him. And then the remaining two made a plan, and the one who went earlier to buy food, he was more clever than them, and then he also made another plan. The man who went to buy food, he also made his own plan. Okay, he was alone, and then on the way he thought, oh, how can I get this very sum of money myself? He made a plan. He thought a long time, and then he found the solution. What he found? He decided to poison that very food. He decided to mix something poison in the food and to kill the two people there. Okay, and then he decided to poison the food and kill his friends. Okay, he made such kind of plan. Then after that we can join such sentences to make our story readable, more interesting, exciting. So after that he bought food and poison and mixed it, and mixed the both things. Okay, when he bought food, and then he also bought the poison there, and then on the way he returned from the shop and then mixed the food and poison. He came back to the friends. Then he came back to the place where his friends were waiting, where his friends were waiting him. Okay, he didn't lose more time because he had already made a plan to kill his friends as well. So he came so fast, and then when he arrived there, the two men were ready to kill him. Okay, and then when he arrived there, they attacked him. And killed on the spot. Okay, when he arrived by bringing food mixed with poison, okay, the poisonous food, he arrived there, and then two were ready to kill him, and then when he arrived there, they attacked him, and then he was killed on the spot. And what happened, dear students, can you guess? Okay, they were very hungry, and then they hurriedly started to eat the food that was brought there. Then they started started to eat food. Started to eat food so fast. Due to the poison of the food, they both died again there. Due to the poison, they were killed. They were killed there. Okay. Hence, all three men died on the spot. They were killed. They were murdered. And then the whole story, okay, ends here. Hence, what we have to remember is there, it is the question for 5 marks. So, while writing such kind of story, one whole page of SC paper will be enough. So, as I discussed earlier, now 2 things are left. We have to supply the topic and then moral lesson. So, by reading this story and then given hints, how can we make a story, how can we make a topic, and how can we generate the moral lesson, that we have to think a little. So, dear students, the story is telling that, one doesn't believe others, and 2 doesn't believe others, and they become very greedy as well, and they want to get the sum of money themselves or himself. So, due to this disbelief between different friends, among the group, they lost their lives as well, and they lost the money that they found there too. So we can make moral lesson like this. Okay, at the end of the story, we have to supply the moral. The moral may be, okay, the moral we have to think seriously, and then we can find ready-made moral as well. But it is not necessary to, okay, remember the ready-made moral. We can make ourselves. So on the basis of this very story, what can we guess? Okay, we shouldn't betray others. We shouldn't disbelieve others. We can make a very simple moral as well. So we can write the moral here like this. We shouldn't betray. We shouldn't betray others. Okay, we have to believe others, we have to help others. If we betray other people, if we don't believe other people, that harms us as well. Not only we are okay giving trouble to people others, but that can also harm us. Okay, dear students, we have supplied the moral as well. We shouldn't betray others. Now, can you guess what may be the proper topic for this story? Okay, 3 men were there, okay, and then the purse they found. So we can attach the people and the purse here. So look, what about, okay, why not to write the topic 3 men and a purse? Look, very simple. We can write very simple topic as well. Okay, 3 men and a purse. Okay, if we write such kind of topic, 3 men and a purse, and then the whole story finishes like this. So, dear students, you can develop any kind of story, developing stories that is asked in different levels of schools and campuses as well. So, again, I want to repeat the gist once again. First of all, we have to read the given clues so seriously. We have to form the structure of the story in our mind, and we can add the information. We have to use the past tenses as we have done, and then finally we have to supply the moral lesson of the story, and then we have to supply the topic if that is not given. And if we do the things as we have discussed today, and then we can get high marks or appropriate marks for this very question. Okay, dear student, that is okay. That's all for today. And in next class, we will bring another topic, okay, another subject matter, and we will meet again in future as well. So thank you for everyone to read this very class, to view this very class, and then I promise to meet again in future as well. Okay, thanks all. This much for today. Thank you.